The seating space of the most popular pure electric car is useful from 50,000 to 100,000. I am 1.9 meters tall and let you have a look. The first one starts with Habit Star Wish. This is the front row of Xingyuan. Once you sit down, the seat is wider than expected, but there is almost no wrapping. Then the direction can support the up and down adjustment, but it can't support the close adjustment. Then, the design of double inversion in the center console is still very good in practical performance. The back row of Xulien is definitely small and large, and there is room for a punch in the legs. This is really thought of, but the backrest of the seat is relatively straight. It's also quite comfortable, it's not too comfortable, and there's no head shock in the middle. Look at the second best-selling BYD Seagull at this price. Its size is obviously one circle smaller, so for people like me, when I sit in the front row, I obviously save a lot of money, and the entire sitting posture is also on the higher side. As for the chair, there is no way to wrap it. The back row of the body is smaller, there is no room for the legs and head, and the backrest angle is relatively straight, and the seat is relatively short, which is indeed more uncomfortable for adults. Looking at it, Jihu T1, which has been very popular recently, is also a player with a small body and huge interior space. First of all, the front row has plenty of headroom, and then there is a center console that can be adjusted in the upper and lower bodies. It is also a double-layer fall, and the position design is also very practical. Almost the rear space of T1 is definitely the most surprising. The front row is my value department, and there is about 3 spaces in a circle, which is the largest in this price range. Then a large sunroof above is also behind the driving head. It is also a flat seat and has a rear heavy feeling, but it lacks a headrest in the middle of the rear row. Other aspects are absolutely perfect. This is the front row of the MG MG4. 2 points. The first thing is that the entire seat sitting position is on the high side. I have now adjusted it to the lowest position. In fact, for a height like me of 1.9 meters, the overall sitting posture is also on the high side, followed by its direction. It only supports up and down adjustments, but does not support adjustments. In the back row of the MG4, there is about a punch of space on the legs, but there is not much fish on the top of the head. Fortunately, the seats are rather reddish. From that point of view, although the Dongmi 01 G-frame car has a frameless door, and when you sit near the front row there is no sunroof on it, so the amount of fish on the top of your head is quite large, and the square plate can only support the upper and lower adjustment. But one advantage of the system is that the middle part is a through-type TER, so the entire space will feel larger. Walking to the back row, which is meters 1, there is only about 2 spaces in the legs, and then there is hardly a single fish on the top of the head. Then the seats are relatively full. You feel a little small bored when sitting here, even he. The ride feels stiff, lacking a middle headrest and compromising comfort. It is a version of UT Super that can support battery swapping, but the internal space of the system is actually the same as the regular version. As soon as you sit down, the first big point is that the seat has an oblique wrapping around the entire waist. It is really very strong. At this level, its entire ear shape and riding experience are indeed very good, and the space is similar to that of a Star. Then its entire direction can only support up and down and cannot support a close adjustment. Another feature is a through-type space, however it has a little privacy. What about the back row of IUT? The entire sitting posture will be a little higher, and there will not be much fish on the top of the head, and there will be about 4 fingers and 1 punch of space on the legs. The advantage is that it has a rear backrest and supports 2-stage adjustment of the backup space and the rear. You can choose the riding experience, but there is no headrest in the middle. The space is not absolutely large because in fact its definition is to favor a sports style, so when you come, the texture of the whole interior is indeed the best, and you will have some burdens of your own skin. Of course, the price will also be expensive, and at the same time, in terms of space, its seat posture is actually the lowest among these cars because it will give you a better control experience, and then the direction can be adjusted up, down and close, which must be the same. There is about 4 fingers of space in the back legs of Rafa Fi, and there is almost no fish on the top of his head. 2 independent head rashes, there is also a small one in the middle, there is a prone lock, these are also available, but the entire sitting posture feels like a state of relatively straight force. Of course, there will actually be an A10 leading the way, which will be launched soon. From the entire shape, you can see the height of its body, which is obviously relatively high among pure electric cars, so the internal headroom is indeed worth looking forward to. If you have a need for space, you can look forward to the A10. From 88,000 to 100,000, you can buy some SCV products with larger space. What about BYD's original upfront row? First of all, I can feel that the headspace is indeed obviously much wider, especially for a friend like me, and then the direction is also supportive. The 4 adjustments of front and rear and close body make it easy to find a sitting position that suits you in the back row. First of all, the head space will be a little larger, and then there is about a punch of space for the legs, but in fact the seats are still somewhat comfortable from the seat and there is no obvious sense of sinking, so it is relatively simple. Fortunately, there are 3 headrests for you. It's the front row of the long safety All-Star Q05. The comfort is obviously much better when you sit on it. The direction included also supports up and down adjustment. You can find a sitting position that is very suitable for you. There is about a punch of room in the back row of the long safety All-Star Q05, and the panoramic canopy above the head extends to the rear passenger position, so the opening angle feeling is very good. The riding experience, including the seats, is also the most comfortable at 80,000 GB. Then the center armrest has all 3 unique head selections. Summary. Among electric cars priced 60,000 to 80,000 yuan, T1 offers larger space and comfort. Electric SUVs priced 80,000 to 100,000 yuan, new Q05 excels in safety and quality. For spacious comfort, consider these 2 cars.